We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strings of the Sun, the Changing Breeds Chronicle. We are running here on Final Show Films. We are Julia and King of the Zodiac System, and we will be your storytellers for the evening. We're joined by a fantastic cast of role players. They let me mentally and emotionally abuse them every so often, and we like to put it on the internet for you all to enjoy. And we are going to begin our introductions today with So Help Me, I will turn this plot around right now. Jeremy.
I'm not going to turn the plot around. I'm going to drive it straight through the most ridiculous nonsense we can find.
Off the side of the building.
Cackling like a maniac the entire time, because that's the character I'm playing right now. Shit, I just jumped into the wrong World of Darkness game.
I mean, in your defense, you're only in like 4 currently.
Yeah, this game is not currently trying to stop a Bali Methuselah from awakening in Portland.
That's weird that the Bali have been involved in vampire games I know about, and twice.
Isn't the lot?
Nickels? It was a lot. Yeah, if I had a nickel.
To be fair, if the plot succeeds, the Methuselah will only be around for a very short time as they die, and literal Leviathan will rise in their wake.
Oh, so no problems at all.
No problems at all. Anyways, hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Crystal Arias, who is a Hamid Nuisha.
I lived, bitch. Katie.
So far.
Need that on a t-shirt.
Pretty sure you can get it on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I just couldn't wear it to work. Hi, my name is Katie. I'm playing Carrie Nichols, who is a Hamid Korax Hermetic Order of Swiftlight.
I would like one character drama, please. Drevian.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing Connor McLaughlin, a Coelacanth Bastet.
Recently escaped from containment, William Roshani.
Hi, I'm William Orshani, and I'm playing Callisto Osborne, the Hamid Usmati Garal of the Mountain Guardians.
And Siobhan, who plays Dr. Clover McKee, is set to join us a little later in the session tonight. So we will welcome them back when they join us. As always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. And the following are some good news stories that I want to share from the last week to hopefully bring some smiles to your faces. In the region of Cumbria, a woman discovered to her great surprise that Leonardo, her pet tortoise, had fled her house in Ulverston. Escaping, Leonardo began a 9-month, 1-mile-long journey around town right as winter was approaching. But after the spring thaw, a dog walker noticed him ambling down the street, proving him capable of facing the North English winter of finding food and avoiding predators like rowdy shepherd dogs.
Amazing.
A new tiny species of snail with an unusual shell was recently discovered in Southeast Asia by some very art-conscious biologists who decided to name it after painter Pablo Picasso. I can talk. Measuring just 3 millimeters, the micro snail's shell was nevertheless eye-catching, and they came up with the name because of the way the shell seemed to embody the principles of cubism. Unlike most snails, Anakin Picasso has rectangularly angled whorls that, according to the scientists, make it look like a cubist interpretation of other snails with normal shell shapes. And one of the world's rarest trees, a prehistoric species that dinosaurs used to snack on, is bearing fruit for the first time after a retired couple planted it in their garden years ago. Woolly pines, dubbed dinosaur trees, date back more than 90 million years and were thought to have died out with T-Rex. But a cluster of the prehistoric conifers was discovered in 1994 in a steep-sided gorge 125 miles west of Sydney, Australia. Saplings and cuttings were sold to help save the critically endangered species, and one was planted at the foot of Malvern Hills in England by retired couple Pamela and Alistair Thompson. So that's kind of cool.
Well, we know if Jurassic Park comes back, then
they can have period accurate trees.
Yeah, you know.
The ancient
As
bones
they
of the
eat
earth
us.
continue to rise in defense of this doomed world.
What? What'd you say? I heard none of that.
I said the ancient bones of the earth continue to rise in defense of this doomed world.
I mean,
Dinosaurs eat man, women inherits the earth.
That is the natural progression of things.
correct.
And so previously, some shit happened. You guys discovered a van full of equipment from Endron with a gauntlet barrier detector and a set of communicating devices which would detect that within 25 feet, and a number of DNA sample files along with a DNA sequencer were found within, leading to the concept that Endron was trying to make their own Farah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I kidnapped a man.
We're getting there.
Sorry, it's been a while. I was just reminded.
Oh, that's my favorite random blurt out I've had all week. Oh God.
Can that be like the
Oh
tiny,
right, I kidnapped a guy last week.
the tiny title of the episode?
You're right, I kidnapped a guy.
Subtitle
guys-
that's not tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ended up giving this information to Doom of the Mountain and coming up with a plan to meet with the Garu and the Farah at Callisto's cabin that evening. Meanwhile, Carrie and Crystal went into Sacramento proper to visit Endron and to give Dr. Bright a little bit of a visit. Carrie being eyes outside, and Crystal actually doing the sleuthing inside, where she encountered Devin, a just barely adult young Black Spiral dancer who was being held captive by Endron, who, after some discussion with Dr. Bright, was released, and consequently, Crystal killed a research assistant and kidnapped Dr. Bright, allowing Devin to walk free, which is going to be good for him because, Seattle sounds really nice this time of year.
We call that tomorrow's problem.
Yep.
We call that the Seattle Carnes problem.
I'd warn them, but I don't know that they're going to Seattle. So
Yeah.
No, you don't.
fuck it.
You'd
They're
recommend
not a
Florida.
Sacramento problem.
You had
Uh,
recommended Florida, and he said that North Dakota sounds good.
Yep, North Dakota sounds nice.
Well, yeah, I
Uh,
assume that Devin was not going to tell me exactly where they were going. Because, I
No, I
would
just think
eventually
the-
find them.
I just find it funny to send doomed NPCs to the location of my next chronicle for them to get slaughtered as NPCs. Because Seattle's where all the princesses live. Anyway,
Foreshadowing for a future
future
game.
campaigns. Eventually, Crystal, Dr. Bright, and Carrie drove back to Callisto's house, where Doom of the Mountain and 4 of his guardians, along with all of the elders of the locally represented Farah tribes, have gathered to discuss things. Namely, what to do about Endron. And we pick back up with Crystal and Carrie walking. I believe you just gotten Dr. Bright here, correct?
Yeah.
Uber Eats. Who ordered the mad scientist?
There is an older African American gentleman in a in a cut leather jacket who just sort of raises a hand. One of his eyes is glassed over. You know that as Cragspine, the elder of the Macaulay.
Am I supposed to leave him by the door and not ring the doorbell? Because
Just
I want to make sure that I'm following all of your deliveries.
Just haul him in here. Come
get him in
on.
here and put him on the fucking couch.
All right, leave me a 5-star rating.
I prefer to chase him down, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but at the moment we've got questions and interrogation to do.
And then you can chase him down.
I was
If
about to
you-
say, don't mean we can't play games after.
If you chomp, we can't ask questions.
I mean, talking with the dead seems not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, but it's a pain in the ass. So
Yeah,
Have a
that
seat,
is
buddy.
said out loud, and Doc just sort of tenses his entire body.
Let's have
Yeah, yeah. Dr.
this
Wright
chair you're sitting
sits
in?
down in the chair and just
You see this chair you're sitting in? It is your new best friend. You don't want to leave your new best friend.
understood.
look around you.
Yes, I'm severely outnumbered.
Just so you're aware.
I don't think you
See,
realize
they'll
just how
just kill
outclassed.
you.
She'll drop
I'll
you out the
shoot.
window.
No, that will kill him. He's not,
Oh,
he's not my favorite chew toy.
mm,
I'll shoot you in the ankle.
she's very trigger happy.
Anyway,
Who's so quick to violence?
yeah.
A
Well,
lot
as
of
it
you.
turns out, when you threaten the home livelihood and prosperity and habitat of numerous different groups of people, they tend to get a little bit antsy when you're around. Ain't that a strange thing?
Well, I'm sure I can get over it. We British have been doing that for a long time.
Yeah,
Here's the fun
you're not
part.
making your case any better.
I'm
No,
not.
you're not. Here's the fun part. I'm not even the angry one.
Who am I?
Uh,
Speaking of which, dealing with the mountain.
everybody can give me a perception and alertness difficulty 5.
Free.
I see something.
Would uncanny instincts apply?
No.
Okay. 4.
Yeah, all of you. He very quickly scans the room. Once that is said, as he is not the angry one, and you see his eyes fall on Mother Webb, who none of you have seen lose her temper at all. She's not really shown much emotion, period. But he very quickly susses out she's the one you don't piss off.
Good. You got a good
Don't
set of eyes
make
on
mommy
you.
mad.
Well, one of the rules about biology is if you've lived that long, there's a reason.
Also, because I think it's funny when at some point Connor slips to the restroom,
Mm-hmm.
changes into a cat form,
Okay.
and comes back and sits on Dr. Bright's lap.
Well, now I'm just a stereotype.
Congratulations, you have an emotional support kitten. Don't piss the emotional support kitten off.
They get
It will eat your
emotional.
face.
Notably, the lie detecting emotional support kitten.
Yes,
know,
but I
the
don't
way-
want to tell him that
Yeah.
part.
Honestly, the most normal part about anyone in this room is the raccoon.
Oh,
Don't
you
say-
just haven't
don't
heard
say
him
that.
talk.
First of all,
I am offended.
yeah, then the raccoon talks. First of all, I'm very offended. I am incredibly normal. And if you don't think so, I will shoot you in the face to prove it.
I mean, this is America. She's got a point.
Exactly.
Anyway, Tall, Dark, and Snarly, did you have any questions going first, considering you were kind of in the first of line of offense? She says, looking over at Doom the Mount.
I don't play around. I don't cut hairs. What is the fucking end goal for what you're looking for? You see Madam Webb for the first time kind of leans forward in her chair.
Before he speaks, I am activating my gift. Its normal name is Truth of Gaia. I don't remember what the Basset version is called.
Right.
I need his manipulation subterfuge.
Like the total of the score?
Yeah.
8.
That makes sense. I just not loud enough to overrule anybody, but just immediately start going dee 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 dee.
I love this.
Can I spend a willpower on this?
No.
Okay.
Because to be
I have
clear,
a success.
he is in jeopardy.
Oh yeah. I gathered.
You can tell the falsehood of his next statement, though it won't
Yeah.
tell you what part of it is true or false, just whether it was.
Yeah.
I was contracted by Dimitri to build a small army of individuals of varying skills and capabilities with which to overthrow a small eco-terrorist group, as he put it.
See, the way you say that makes me acts like you don't know what kind of eco-terrorist group, quote unquote, it is.
When I was originally contracted for this a month ago, I had no clue. But you all are fascinating creatures.
Boop, 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 boop,
Oh
boop.
my god, you could not have been more perfectly timed.
Come on!
So
Ah, shit.
as that sentence is said, welcome Siobhan.
Hi.
Hey, hi.
As the sentence
Yay.
is said, Siobhan, let me know when you get into roll 20.
Fucking.
And we can't hear you.
We cannot hear you. There you go.
Hear me? Hello.
Oh,
I'm
little bit.
sorry. Truth
Oh.
of Gaia is a little bit more granular than I thought it was. It does tell you which words spoken are true and which words are false.
There we go. Now you're on the stream.
Am I here? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
All right, Siobhan, I would like just a straight willpower roll from Clover.
Uh-oh.
Difficulty 9, please.
Oh.
Welcome back. Fight mental manipulation.
Please, let me figure out where my freaking willpower is. It's been a minute. Hello? Why is the character sheet look different?
So it would be on the top on the 3. It'd be the 3rd tab, advantages.
Ah, thank you.
You scroll down to the
Willpower.
bottom and click willpower.
All right.
Difficulty's
Difficulty
9.
9. Oh boy.
Oh.
Suddenly
That's a
there is a whirlwind of activity as papers go everywhere. Lighter furniture flies through the room as a rift in reality opens. A large 12-foot raven by albino. However, the briefest flash of recognition comes across everyone's face, but that's not what Clover looks like. Or at least that's not what Clover's supposed to look like. Standing in front of all of you is a large albino corvid, long red feathers interspersed with the white. Coming up from the top, a long string of the red going down, a third eye open in the middle of the forehead, pitch black with a red slit.
My gun
Clover,
is pointing at a different person now.
yeah, I would assume. Clover, I need you to give me a claw attack at the nearest individual, and go ahead and add 4 dice to this roll.
Who are
Arms.
you murdering?
Let me see. Claw attack is I'm in
In Krynos right now.
You're in Krynos form.
hybrid.
Yeah,
Yep,
you're in
hybrid.
hybrid form.
Okay. How do
You guys are gonna love my Naga.
How do I do that?
So if you go,
in the combat tab,
Combat. There it is. Okay.
there is the
Uh,
brawling and clawing list.
Strength and brawl.
if you
Action
scroll down, the words brawling and clawing will have claw marks beside it. Click
Oh,
those claw
yes.
marks and it will give you those attacks.
Cool. Thank you. Claw. Oh, okay. It's okay. I'm not good at this. Let's do that.
Is that I need 4 additional dice on that roll.
Oh, hello. I'm so good at this game. Hello.
It's okay. You've only been gone a hot minute.
I've only been gone
I-
a hot minute. Where?
Set the attack modifier to 4.
Thank you. I was like, which one? Okay. All right. Now we're gonna roll that for real, please.
That made a difference.
Go ahead and roll damage.
And then that is
That'll be the aggravated button on the far right side of that attack.
excellent. Love this for me.
And it'll ask you for extra successes. You will put in 3.
put in 2,
3.
3.
Because you've got, but it only takes 1 success to hit.
Whoops! I accidentally rolled that on bite, but it's
It's the same.
So as this corvid steps forward, there is a slight bit of movement from the figure next to, and she just launches and claws, rips into Dancing Cackle.
well, maybe.
Bang.
Yes, go ahead and roll that.
Like, no shade, but like, yeah. Fortunately, I am in Hamid currently, and cannot spend rage to auto shift up. So,
You don't have any.
nope, doesn't exist. However, that is so. My question would I'm gonna get would preternatural grace apply to an attack a gunfire roll?
Let me take a look at Preternatural Grace real quick.
I mean, it's just a description. It's a specialty.
There,
Oh, okay.
there is something to be said about the fluid motion changing
yeah.
targets and
Yeah,
Walking
I would
around.
allow it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was 6 successes to hit.
Success.
Then.
Okay. So you'll add 5 to the next shot against
Yep.
Clover.
5 to the damage. Plus 5. So that is 5 lethal damage.
Clover.
Yes.
So this. What, Crystal? Where were you aiming? I'll say with 3 successes, you can pick a body part.
This looks nothing like. This looks nothing like Clover. It just looks like a giant albino, a giant black spiral dancer version of a of a
Yeah, of a Korax.
of a Korax just attacked the other Nuisha in the room, so this is going right in the dome.
Okay. So that bullet cracks into the side of Clover's head. Clover, you don't take any damage.
Yeah, excellent.
However, you come to.
Knock some sense into
The
you.
last thing you remember,
Lunar
as we do a small flashback,
shot some sense into.
you originally stepped into the Umbra to talk to the Redwood's spirit that is in the cairn of the Sept of the Towering Giants. And when you crossed, you did not cross at the location you were supposed to have. You came to the edge of a forest, twisted and gnarled, blackened. The leaves falling more like feathers. The moon is in a different location every time you look into the sky. And there's the ever-present sound of moving chains. And so you walked. And then you flew. And it didn't end for a while. And then in the distance, there's a large black spire with the iconography of a bleeding moon. It's the only building you've seen for, well, you don't know how long.
Y'all know Clover is a curious little bean, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
line straight to it.
There is a very obvious spiral staircase to a door atop of it. Does Clover knock, or does Clover just open said door when
Do
she
you
gets to it?
think she has manners?
Listen. I have to ask the archaeologist if they're going to knock first. That's a thing.
No.
So as you open this door, the space inside does not match the space you would imagine to have been occupied. It's much larger on the inside. A vast, cavernous, airy. A number of large winged creatures. You would assume buzzards. There is the scent of rot and worm. And fresh wildflowers.
I will say, the second that door opens, and it is much bigger than I thought it was, she's going to just go, there's a Doctor Who joke in here somewhere.
We were all thinking it.
Yeah.
Somebody had to say
I'm
it.
just saying it.
I saw it happen on 3 people's faces. That's great. But your eyes are drawn to a large figure at the very base of this area. You would venture probably 20, 30 feet tall. And the area is probably a couple 100 feet deep. But it is hunched, and it looks up as you enter. And it moves, the sound of a large chain grinding against the floor, the stone in here almost bowing underneath of its weight. And 3 large eyes blink back at you, and a large beak looks up. Daughter.
I beg all your pardons?
Do you not recall our first meeting?
I don't recall a lot of things that happened between 18 and how old am I again?
Time means nothing here. You know that as well as I.
Time's not meant a lot to me, ever.
It's very hard to see the full form of this creature. It's kind of sitting within shadow, but you can make out the mottled and mange covered feathers. It does not look like a healthy raven.
Whenever I would have any sort of weird skin issues, I typically put Alcofor on it. It solves most problems. I might have some in my purse. She goes and takes it through.
Silence.
What? You're not nearly as nice as my parents.
Ah, yes. Are they still buying everything for you? Or have you finally made a name for yourself?
I get by with things and money.
Is the knowledge you've gained over the years worth the trade you've made? Or the
It
bread
has
you
to-
break with the bloodsuckers?
This is the problem. This is the problem since I've been introduced to this whole thing. Everyone's real mad at everyone else, and we're all just not human. Anymore, at least.
There's the walls begin to shake slightly and dust begins to fall as you hear the sound of stone grinding against stone.
And everyone's big mad about everyone else. But what we should be mad about, and what everyone should be mad about, is the Catholics.
Yes, at this point you recognize this creature is laughing. The noise you're hearing is the hearty laugh of a bird whose throat is damaged.
I don't know what you are. I don't know who you are. And I need you to be just a smidge nicer, and I can maybe help you. But you're going to have to say please, and you're definitely going to have to say thank you.
You would let me out.
I'd like to do some research from a first-hand source to make sure that maybe you're not a thing that's not supposed to be let out. There's all these jokes about like anthropologists like releasing like curses and stuff because we end up places that maybe stuff has been sealed away. So like maybe I don't do that once or twice. I mean, like the Mummy is essentially about an anthropologist fucking up. Tell me you've seen the cinematic masterpiece that is the Mummy. Honestly, you can't be related to me.
You have to die. You have to die.
I'm
sorry. Those are the rules.
If she has service to
Does-
find
oh, absolutely the
streaming
fuck
site
not.
that has the Mummy.
You're in the Umbra. There is no service.
Yeah, there's no such. There is just a question mark. There's not even an X. It's just like, huh? The question.
Well,
My signal spot is just a spinning question mark. That doesn't mean anything, right?
okay. As soon as I get to service, we're going to sit down and you.
What? You don't want me to answer all of your questions?
Yes.
Yes, but priorities.
Yeah. Sorry. I just you got to see Brendan Fraser in his prime. It's honestly just it's a whole experience, and she will. It's deep, right? Like it's like
yeah.
down. She will. I can just transform in the Umbra, right?
You roll stamina primal or just not?
Yes.
I still have to roll stamina.
Yeah, stamina primal urge.
We're gonna hedge our bets and be like, I can't do that reliably. We're gonna try to do a cool guy slide.
You can also spend a rage to do it without having to roll.
Do I even have rage as a Corvid?
I believe you do.
so.
It's not a lot.
There's a very few changing breeds that don't have rage.
I have one.
You can spend that one to instantaneously
one.
take any shape, any form you want.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Well, no, we're gonna save the rage because I don't want to be down there and unable to get out, I'm going to go ahead and roll. Was it Primal Urge and Willpower?
Stamina.
Stamina
Yeah.
Primal Urge.
All right.
Difficulty 6.
Stamina, Primal Urge. Where is my transform? Hey, look, I made a thing for that. Please work. God damn it. She's gonna try and go.
It's just a failure, not a botch.
She's
Means
gonna-
you can try again. You're not stuck.
Yeah.
she's gonna you see her like hunker down. Okay, let me try again. Just really, really, really trying.
Fortunately, as a
This-
Korax, you only need one success to
Mhm.
get
This,
to get
this
to
poor
Krynos.
thing, evil thing,
There you
whatever
go.
I'm speaking to, is having to watch Clover have to give herself a pep talk. Be like, it's just a bird. You've done this before. You can do this. We have some performance issues sometimes. Okay, and then transform into the crow, or the raven, and then fly down.
Bird form.
So the first thing you notice as you get closer and those shadows start to break as you descend are the piles of bones.
With voice of the mimic, you just hear, "I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore." Come out of her mouth. A perfect Judy Garland. I can say words. Judy Garland impression comes out of her mouth. It basically sounds like from like a tube TV, like her beak opens and it's like Stitch, and it's just the actual movie like sound. And she lands on a bone with some distance there, but at least less through shouting distance. Still in a raven form.
So it's now looking down at you.
She she kind of brustles up as the raven, and with voice of the mimic comes out like definitely something from a shitty crime drama. Where were you on the night of the 15th? And then she will, like, depending on how sturdy this feels, either she will fly lower to find a sturdier standing, or she's just going to transform back where she's sitting on a pile of bones.
Yep, you can do that.
And
Since Hamid is your breed form, you can instantaneously go back to Hamid without
yeah,
doing anything.
she sits there and pulls out of her purse her notebook and a pen. All right. Seems like you know some of my questions, so why don't we start with those? Let's see how well you know me. What would I ask?
Trick question, daughter. You want to know everything. You'll ask all of the questions.
We got time. Let's start from the top. Do you want to do alphabetical or chronological? I will need you to cite your sources.
You can do that rather than chronological or alphabetical. Do it in like a reverse Boolean search.
I was going to say
Um,
Dewey Decimal.
Or
Child, you
what's the
try my patience.
I tend to do that to people, yeah. One of my professors forgets my name, but typically I'm called, "Oh no, it's you again."
I missed Clover so much.
Yep.
I'm trying to just dial it up to 11 to make up for all my lost time. All
I will
right,
give
I'll
you-
start. Who are you?
The three-eyed raven.
I've noticed you have like something other than that, or are we just doing like, all right, well, I'm white hair, red eyes, dragon.
I've forgotten my mortal name.
Well, what was the name I tried to give that other spirit I met? And he said no. Was it Clarence?
No.
His name's Clarence, but everybody calls him Jimmy.
Tim. I'm not calling you Three-Eyed Raven every time I talk to you. You can be Ter. Ter. Three-Eyed Raven. Ter. Terry! Oh my goodness, you're Terry. Excellent. Okay, Terry, and you write that down. God, it's so easy
There-
to get back into this character.
There is a flare of power that you just feel. The being does nothing, but there's just that impression of you get just pure rage and then nothing.
I can't remember if it's an advantage or a flaw because it entirely depends on the context, but I think I have like something that's like unflappable, the things that would make people scared doesn't scare me. And I'm definitely playing it off as high and low is. It was like, oh yes, okay, power flare, interesting. Okay. So are you the one who makes me able to see and hear things?
I am the one who established your connection to the spirit world.
Well, stop it. It really sucks.
Has it not given you insight and oracular ability?
It's given me insomnia and anxiety and
The chronic need to be on drugs.
Migraines.
do you
Substance
know
dependence.
how many mind-altering substances are in this bag alone? That is just my go bag. You should see my house. Oh, the ATF would have a very, or hold on, who's the one in charge of that? I don't know. The ones who do the drug raids, they would have a field day in my house. I don't know my government organizations.
Because of all the drugs you're on, clearly.
Clearly. I have to step out of my brain to get a moment's peace. And now I know you did this to me without me asking. Do you?
That rumble starts again. Child, you called me.
Pulls out her phone, pulls up the call log. Because that's still accessible if you don't have service. I see no Terry in here.
Give me a willpower roll, difficulty 6.
Excellent. Just if I had a
The
nickel for
greatest
every-
moments ever.
If I had a nickel for every time I had one of my very intelligent characters say something very powerful, I'd be a very rich woman at this point. Difficulty
As,
6.
I feel ya.
I was about to say, isn't it like your MO?
It is. We have a one success.
There, you feel something. There's the briefest moment where you just suddenly feel lightheaded. And then there's a moment of pure lucidity, but no voices. And then suddenly you are out in the woods in Portland, a cauldron over a fire, multiple different people in a circle chanting.
Am I in the cauldron?
No,
Okay.
you are one of the people in the circle around it. And there are numerous things being thrown in, different herbs, different rocks. There is bones of a rat and skin of a cat, and several other different things that are brought together, and eventually, blood is let.
A
And the
Thursday night
cauldron.
in Portland.
Yes. You were so excited when you found this manuscript. Finally, being able to talk to something that had the power to change its own shape. So you could finally get face to face with one of the shapeshifters themselves so that you could learn what it truly means to shift form. and you and all of your colleagues were going to do so. So it really hurt when they started to die one by one in front of you. Their life essence drained into the cauldron, the fires turning from orange to black, a large being stepping out of it once all of your friends have died around you. Large black wings, 3 red eyes.
Hey, remember y'all when Clover really wanted to be a mage?
And this is when those moments of dissociation start clicking. You running through the forest. You being chased. And knowing instinctively to fly. Being given the ability without asking for it. And it's in this moment that you realize that this is the creature that changed you. This is the creature that uprooted your entire life. But you're the one who summoned him. You're the one who took the steps to move your life in this direction.
Oh no.
There's a small shattering within Clover.
Oh no, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
And you are back standing in front of this creature, its laugh just sort of beginning to settle.
Well, that wasn't very live, laugh, love of you. That's more gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
I do think I prefer manipulate, mansplain, and manslaughter.
I was gonna say male wife, but yeah, no, it really does take a truth. It really does take a certain type of man to be. So what? You just blast open my third eye and abandon
you
me
opened
so I
it
don't know what
since?
I'm doing?
Have you opened it since?
I don't know. I don't
Oh, trust me, child, you would know.
don't know how to. You abandoned me when I could have been taught so many things.
And I can give you all the information you need. It slides one leg in front of you. That manacle on its ankle. It's a simple lock. It can only be opened by those willingly wanting to open it. And unfortunately, I don't count for that.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
You have the curiosity flaw, do you not?
I have the curiosity flaw, and I also have 2 in larceny. So I know how to pick locks. Theoretically, if I had to use physical objects to open this lock, what are we talking size-wise for me to have to utilize? Is because I assume this is beyond.
Well,
like,
this block, it's like the manacle itself is double human height.
Okay.
So
You see
you're-
Clover, the math happening in front of her as she's trying to think what she might have in her purse that could utilize this, because her set of lockpicks is absolutely underpowered for this.
I say your lockpicks would need to be the size of swords for a
Right.
lock big.
How about just
She has that
shoving
moment.
your arm? How about just using your arm as a lock?
No, because that's how you lose your arm.
It'll work once,
It will work once.
but only once.
So many instances.
No, you have 2 arms.
So many instances in my life that I went, wow, I wish I had a sword right now. And I'm sorry.
There is a clatter to the floor behind you.
Two swords?
A second clatter.
She grabs the swords and applies that very specialized knowledge she has.
Please give me Dex and Larceny difficulty 7.
Dex and larceny. I can't remember if I have a specialty.
Just
in
need
mind.
to
All right.
push tumbler up,
Just
turn
yeah,
chamber.
just need to. Don't worry. Just don't mind me just doing this with these 4-foot swords.
Yeah, we like talking like claymores here. Like, give me an idea.
Typical longsword,
Okay.
like generic ass, like pulled directly out of the front page of any fantasy book.
All right. And difficulty 6, you said?
Yep.
She goes in there and she's like, you do realize how ridiculous this is. Like, I'm so small. And even just trying to reach the top of the lock to touch the tumblers is a stretch. Could you, like, you know?
What other ways might you open this, child?
I don't know, open sesame.
Like clunk.
I could take your foot. That's a little easier. You did give me swords. That's a really bad idea on your part.
They burst into feathers in your hands.
Terry giveth and Terry taketh away.
Child, ask it to open.
Excuse me, my good luck. Could you please open for me?
Please give me charisma and expression difficulty 6.
Whoops, you said difficulty 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled that difficulty 8, so
You still made it. That's
Yes,
3
that's
successes.
3 successes. You say that and you think for just a second and then you just sort of like place your hand onto the manacle and you start to hear the mechanics inside undo itself.
I'm gonna add to that a little bit. She does not simply place her hand on the manacle. She taps it.
That tracks.
Yep. There is a massive outpouring of air and steam, and standing in front of you is a 10-foot tall gentleman. Long white
I know for
suit.
certain you are not a literal parent, or I wouldn't be. You know.
The gentleman's in a long-tailed white suit, long red hair, choppy, a silver and gold eye. And as he turns and smiles, he shrinks down to about a 6-foot form.
I still say, you were really my parent. I'd be taller.
Well, child, if I were really your parent, then I don't think I would have given you as much power as I would have liked.
What now?
You see him sort of look up and to the left. And he reaches up and just claws at something and then presses his fingers together. Fine, that can be changed. Apparently, the city you belong to now requires your aid.
Okay.
I'm sending you back.
Oh, hold on. No. No. You said you were going to answer my questions. I let you out. We do a little exchange. Come on.
Ah, I didn't say I would answer them. I said I would give you answers.
Clover's going to try to punch him.
I mean, on one hand, they made a good point, but on the other hand, you are very justified in trying to punch them.
Oh, yeah, yeah. By all means, Dex and Brawl difficulty 6.
Brawl, which I think I have.
So help me if he says 42.
All right.
I might come punch him.
What's
Okay, yeah. That's yeah. You just pop. Be pretty sturdy.
You're a dick. I need all of them. Eat your brethren. Fine. So
I told you where your powers came from. And you were chosen because you are a natural born oracle and you are a natural born witch.
in your infinite wisdom of making me what I am has cut me off from that kind of magic.
Oh, child, you were never deemed to awaken. You would have lived the rest of your life a miserable mortal just trying to scrape for any kind of power you could find. Or you would have simply lost yourself into academia until the eventual depression takes you. You wanted so hard to be special.
Percy said it would have made a good vampire.
Would you prefer to test that?
I feel very conflicted about answering your questions. Because when I say things, things happen. So what are you gonna do? Send me back? Just all right. Now you know where you came from. Good luck, kid.
He reaches into a pocket and pulls out a playing card. He flips it over to you.
It's not the cards I usually deal in.
Looking at it, the back, basic bicycle playing card. The front, shit ton of runes and shit you don't recognize. Burn it and ask me a question whenever. I'll give you 5 guaranteed answers.
Ooh, 5. Okay, I'll take that. Pops it in her purse.
You're going to need a lot more power. He just reaches out a hand. His hands have been human hands since now, but he reaches out a talon and just wraps it around your forehead. And there is a massive amount of pressure and pain. And then you wake up to a massive pain in the side of your head. And you are in Callisto's cabin.
What form am I in?
You're back in your Hamid form. So yeah, that thing gets shot, hits the ground, and writhes, and then there is Clover standing or laying on the ground, clutching her head.
Still shifting to Manabozo and still have the gun trained right between the eyes because we're dealing with worm creatures that can potentially take other people's forms. And she just tried to kill my girl. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Clover, eyes closed, head pounding, goes, "Oh, what a bender." And opens her eyes to just a gun trained in front of her face, and she goes, "Oh, this isn't the first time. What'd I miss?"
Clover, honey. Clover comes out gravelly and low.
Hi. Jesus,
You
what should I drink?
you wanna explain to us why you were looking kind of birdie version of white howlery and tried to murder my buddy here?
Well,
Uh,
in a lot of stories that I researched when it came to my mythical folklore and all of that, typically my usual answer is fable shit, but I recognize that is not correct. So
I don't think I've ever seen a Korax go blood frenzy before.
I was gonna
what?
say that just sort of looked like a frenzy. Callisto says as she walks over, completely ignoring the fact there's still a gun trained. In fact, will actively shoulder past it to to kneel down and offer a hand to help Clover up.
Clover's going to take the
Let's
hand and shakily get to her feet.
I think Coyote Girl's actually gonna stop you and first say, tell us something only Clover's gonna know.
Um,
They have cloned versions of us, Callisto.
something only I would know. There's a vampire in my basement.
I mean, to be fair, not only you would
I'm
know that,
sorry,
but-
there's what?
Shut the fuck up, Callisto says, holding a finger up. Not only you
vampire
would know
what?
that, but only you would say that as a thing that only you would know. Callisto says
She
I'm
said
gonna
there's a
be
vampire in my
honest.
basement.
Oh,
I'm gonna be honest, the worm might know that.
The vampire likes Bluey.
The worm wouldn't care about that. All right, fine.
yeah.
The vampire's
Callisto,
favorite character is also Muffin. Because Muffin
That-
is superior.
That is
And the
correct.
best
That-
episode
that
is
is-
Granny Mobile.
All right, this is definitely Clover.
Callisto.
Who was it that screamed? Who was it that got pissed off at the vampire notion?
Doom of the Mountain.
Yeah, I turn around, look at Doom of the Mountain, put my Coyote Girl arm around her shoulder, like, let's go for a walk. You want to go for a walk? And I'm already maneuvering him towards the door.
I can calm enough to talk.
That's great. You're still walking with me because I have not stopped.
Okay.
Callisto kneels down.
They do this
off the-
thing, or they did this thing. I mean, do isn't sounds like present. They used to do this thing in the Regency era where they did turn about the room. You could just walk in circles around the room. It was like a totally acceptable thing.
And I get right outside the door. I step back in and I shut the door.
Yeah, Callisto kneels down
Can't play it too safe.
to offer a hand to Clover. Notably, Callisto is currently in her near man form, so she is even larger and bulkier than is usual for her normal Hominid form.
Yep.
Arthrin?
And once
Arthrin, yes, I believe that is the name of the form, yes.
Yeah. Clover puts her hand up and gets pulled to her feet. Which typical Clover fashion, they are still bare. You have never seen her pair of shoes. They are just significantly dirtier than they have been the entire time you've known her.
Clover has been gone for a few days.
I was about to say, you've been in the Umbra for a while, girl. Wrong accent. You've been in the Umbra for a while, girl.
She looks like she hasn't eaten in at least 2 weeks.
Also, yeah, you look like you should get some food in you.
I jam my gun into the door to block it in case he tries to get in, and then I shift down into Hamid form and walk over to give Clover a hug.
I mean, I know there's some messed up stuff with the timeline stuff. doesn't feel like I was gone. Well, I was gone. Somehow gone a moment and an eternity.
that's how the Umbra
Clover,
works.
you feel like you have been gone for a minute, and you also feel like you have not slept. You have never felt this tired, and also you are wide awake.
Yeah, I've done acid.
Yeah.
Honey, what?
That's fair. That is
Why don't we get you-
100% what that feels like.
Let's get you a bowl of cereal or something. Let's
Hold on.
get some food in
And
you.
Clover produces from her purse of many things a bag of gummy bears, a bag of goldfish. I just need a bowl of milk, thank you.
Okay, are these sealed packaged or these are these like Ziploc bags?
Ziplocs.
We're gonna get you a sealed pack of gummy bears and a sealed
Let's
goldfish.
get you something with some actual substance to it, because you
There
look
is-
like you actually are in need of real food.
There is plenty of substance in goldfish.
There's gelatin. There's gelatin in gummy bears. That's practically
Okay.
protein.
Okay,
That is not substance.
that's not about. I'm not about arguing nutritional value here. I am arguing about origin. Okay.
These are Haribo. I just have a
Carrie,
Costco-sized bag of them, and I didn't want to carry the whole thing.
she came from the Umbra. If anything contaminated those, it's spiritual, and it doesn't matter if they're
I'm not
sealed or
talking about spiritual Umbra shit. I'm talking about Clover drugs shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot that. No.
Clover
These are untouched. No, the drug ones are in the Ziploc bags with the blue tops, and then pulls out 5 Ziploc bags of various candies. in
See, it's
Ziploc
fine.
Bags
Okay.
with the blue tops.
You know what? I'm gonna keep
There is a
an eye-
clearing of the throat.
I gotta keep an eye on these.
Yeah.
for you eat those.
Callisto looks over at, I'm assuming, Mother Webb.
Yes.
She goes, my friend has been in the Umbra for a while. Give us a moment to get reacquainted. If you would like to interrogate Dr. Bright while we get her settled.
Oh shit, Dancing, are you okay?
Give me what's an empathy. Difficulty 6. 5.
5. All right.
Galana just
Uh,
casually on Dr. Blight's lap.
Where's my wits empathy? There's my wits empathy. Two.
That man is mentally in a different space.
Dancing Cackle?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dr. Bright.
No.
No, Dancing Cackle. There has been the smell of mint in the room. Doc has has done Mother's Touch.
Okay.
She has regained everything, and is currently having just some basic medical wraps done around her chest.
Okay.
Um,
You good? Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm not gonna die or anything.
Cool.
It's gonna take a
Dope.
lot more than one pissed off Korax to take me out.
Are you in
Or
pain?
at least I hope.
Are you hurt? I'm sorry.
Siobhan, your camera's color correction is rapidly changing your shirt and flower from red to orange.
It is.
It's
awesome.
kind
Technically,
of
everything I'm
great.
wearing is orange, but apparently my camera is having trouble. with it.
I'm glad that other people notice it and that I'm not having a flashback.
Okay,
I can
have
tell
no
it's the
idea.
orange because you're wearing a Naruto shirt.
Because
It's just the camera can't handle the .io. It's as ninja.
Like,
it's ninja way.
I haven't had a flashback in years, but there's always that possibility. And like nothing else in the image is changing. So that's what had me questioning it.
I'm good. I'm here. I'm just a fey creature that the camera can't focus on.
Right.
I do sidebar. I was at work last week, and someone came in and was like, why is this doing this? This is distracting for me now.
It's
Someone
trying to
came in and was like, you look recognizable, and then asked me where I went to high school. I said my high school, and she was like, I was there too. I feel like I knew you, but I can't remember exactly. And then I just went, I was the kid who Naruto ran to class. And she went, you!
Yeah. Amazing.
You probably want to. Your camera's trying to do color balancing. If you can, maybe you can change that setting on break. I don't
I
know.
have no idea. It doesn't do this like in certain programs, and
I
it doesn't
wasn't-
in other ones.
See, I wasn't like consciously aware of it until Jeremy said something, and now I can't stop seeing it.
I wonder if there's like a camera.
It has been driving me absolutely bonkers.
I'm
It's
also
fine.
glad that someone else noticed it.
Now that I know it's not just me, I'm okay.
Now the rest of us are messed up.
Wah.
I think I had never been looking at Siobhan when the color had actively been changing, so I had just been seeing her as orange and then as red and never interlocking that it wasn't always that way until
Mhm.
just then when I saw it actively changing several times over.
I've been seeing it too, so.
But yes, Mother Webb is the one who has cleared her throat. Dancing Cackle seems fine.
Yeah, Callisto, just if you'll give us a minute to get our friend settled, if you'd like to interrogate Dr. Bright while we get her settled down. She's been in the Umbra for a bit.
Yeah,
Firstly,
Doctor.
you are gonna have to let Doom of the Mountain back in because he's gonna have to be part of this at some point.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving him time out there to chill while we.
Somehow, I don't think locking the leader of the current werewolf sept outside is gonna make him chill.
No, but it makes me chill.
The
So we're all
scientific study does
saying-
say that timeout isn't actually an effective punishment.
We're all on the same team. Can we get on with this, please? I love you, Clover. I am glad you're back. However, I am in agreement that we do not need to be working at cross purposes. So let's get Clover settled. Let's bring Doom of the Mountain back in.
Right.
Let's let what's your fucking name? Let's let Crystal chill the fuck out
I'm chill.
as much as she can,
I'm chill.
and we move on. Okay.
Everything's fine. Clover came in, tried to murder my breed mate. I shot her. All water under the bridge.
You shot
And-
me?
I shot you.
I survived a gunshot?
Yes, you did. You're welcome. But we're leaving him out there just while we get things settled. I
What
will
we s-
let him back in once we're ready to talk as a group. Because if he's out there and I lock him out there, he's getting angry at me and not thinking about the new information he has about Clover.
I panicked and picked the weirdest thing I knew, which is honestly, it's a Rolodex that I had to go through for a minute.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on.
No, he really, really doesn't. But if he's smart and okay, we know he's not smart. He is politically devious because he managed to maneuver his way into the position that he has. He knows that the easiest way to throw heat off him is to throw it on someone else. So
Yeah, and I'll throw it right back at him if I need to, and he knows why. So he's gonna shut the
So
fuck
who
up.
are we mad at?
Don't worry about it.
Endron.
Yeah, that one always.
Okay, that hasn't changed. Excellent. I was kind
Yeah.
of worried I flipped into like an
Oh yeah,
alternate reality.
Endron is making clones of us all.
Oh.
Or at least trying to get some of our DNA for making more.
Definitely has
Fucked up.
some DNA.
Which is
Anyway,
why
that's why people are about to be trying to interrogate Dr. Bright. If I would let people get to that, well,
All
I'd
right,
go and
all
get
right,
you
I
some
will-
Food.
I will let Trader McTraderson back in.
You said Dr. Bright's out of it. Connor's like making biscuits against his abdomen with claws. trying to pull him back to reality.
That easy
You
enough.
realize that if you do damage, your claws do aggravated damage because you are a supernatural creature outside of your breed form.
I'm not like digging in. I'm just
Okay.
poking. Just poking, not
Yeah,
clawing
he
at him.
does come back to the present.
Clover,
There's sort of a
let me get you actually something, she says as she tries to lead Clover over to the kitchen to get her something to eat and drink.
I walk back over, pull the gun out of the door jamb, so we can get and swing the door open. We are ready for your table now, Mr. Doom.
he kind of like tilts his head.
Table for one.
I guess.
Come on back in.
Yeah, he will step back in.
Pretty certain he heard everything that we were just saying while he was out there, considering he was just outside the door.
I mean, if you don't soundproof your house, that's a you problem.
I live in the middle of the fucking forest. I have natural soundproofing. I don't really need it just for my goddamn door.
Hey, Gary
That seems.
is like very much going like, and get on with it.
Can we
please."
focus? There is. Let me double check. Madam Webb gets up, and you see her just take a thumbnail and slit open the tip of her middle finger, and just touches it to the forehead of Dr. Bright, and his entire body locks up. You're going to answer a few questions. You're going to give us all the information you want, and maybe then I let you walk out of here and let all your limbs work again. Does that make good story for you? Does that work for you? And you see the doctor just sort of blinks twice. You can speak. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it does. Good. Now, why did you need the DNA? Dr. Bright takes an inhale for a second. Simple. Dimitri wanted an army under which Hellbreaker could control. I'm fairly certain all of you know the tale of the Bane buried under Pyramid Lake, correct?
Oh, so you were just bullshitting about eco-terrorism. You do know what's going on here. All right.
I'm the main scientist for Endron in this area. Of course, I know all of you.
Then
Don't sound too pleased about it. I still have my gun.
You have no use of your limbs.
Also, if he was lying about knowing about the eco-terrorists, it would have procced to me. I would have known he was lying.
Here's the thing. He technically didn't lie.
Okay.
He left out information.
That's the problem. Is Truth of Gaia detects pure lies. If you're really good, you can get around it by technically telling the truth. That's why it's not a substitute, not a perfect substitute for just perception subterfuge, because that also picks up on any attempt to misdirect. And
it also reads as neither true or false if they're not sure if what they're saying is true.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect to see so many specimens in one area, though. That is rather unique. I didn't know any of you
Specimen is a bad term for your longevity, Doctor.
You haven't had sex recently, have you?
I beg your pardon?
It's a pretty straightforward question.
I don't believe my habits of love require discussion in this format.
I've got the gun. I'm asking the question, so I think it does.
Yes.
You have? Good.
Yes.
So you don't necessarily need your dick. You can survive a long time bleeding from your bowels.
I mean, did I say specimens? I mean examples.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm not worried about the phrasing. I'm just concerned about how self-satisfied you sound about this whole thing.
Clover from the kitchen doorway with a bowl of SpaghettiOs and like a mouthful of a bowl of SpaghettiOs goes, "This is why we gotta really ramp up people studying the humanities. When you go pure science, it's you get this. Have you taken an anthropology class? No sociology.
I don't concern myself with the lighter sciences.
Remedial reading.
You see an intrusive thought cross Clover's face of, I have a bowl of hot SpaghettiOs in my hand as he comes for her line of study.
I recommend your next research paper be written by Judy Bloom.
Or, maybe like certain anthropologists who's standing in the room with us now, maybe? I don't know.
All right, all
I
right.
believe we can further our line of questioning
I
to a
was
more
about to say,
productive-
moving this forward.
Fair enough. My point has been made.
What's the current state of our good friend Dimitri? Last we checked, he had fallen out of a building and with several bullets in his chest.
You're welcome for that.
That did put a small wrench in plans. I will say he's been quite a nice pawn.
Are you saying he's not a pawn anymore?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, you don't get up from 30 stories.
Maybe you don't.
Oh, he can. Oh no! Is Endron not telling you everything about their plans?
I didn't expect to know everything.
You thought Dimitri was only a pawn?
I mean, he is a pawn, but he's a pawn of the worm, not of Endron.
Makes me wonder.
I mean, he might be hospitalized for a while, but I think he'll be getting back up eventually.
It was
I-
only a flesh wound.
I would just like to know. And again, either pawn of Endron, pawn of the worm, that's neither here nor there. I want to know all the players on the board.
Oh, even I don't know that.
What do you know? Start naming names, positions.
I admire your optimism that I would know all of the names and titles of those in charge of me.
I'm not asking you that, dumbass. I'm asking you the ones you do know.
I got a curiosity question. You've been mostly looking for DNA of our kind. I'm assuming you've got you got what you need from your side. So why the fuck did you need a Black Spiral dancer in captivity? Devin,
Everyone.
Hmm?
Oh yes, our teenage runaway.
yeah,
Yes.
he's not real happy with you, by the way.
Oh, I wouldn't assume he was. If he were happy with me, I'd assume he was nothing but a masochist.
And I should also point out, if you don't remember, that he's wandering around now. So good luck once you leave us. That's a joke. You're not leaving us. I'm just saying.
I still want to know.
I was about to say, I believe my work visa is going to expire rather quickly.
Yeah, because never mind. I cut myself off from saying yes because they expire once you die. Um,
What other players? I'll repeat my question. And don't compliment my intelligence this time in evading the answer. Who else do you know that is part of this project?
Well, there's Dimitri, of course.
We know that one.
hmm,
Oh, then just higher-ups from Pentex that I don't know.
You know one person that you work with. You don't know anybody else's name.
Oh, you just want coworkers' names. I can give you dozens.
I want anybody who knows anything.
I've got a curiosity question. How out of character? What's your BB's name?
Who?
You.
Oh, the guy that I was honey trapping?
Yeah.
Fuck, I can never remember.
Donovan.
Donovan?
Donovan, yeah.
I got a question. What's Donovan's state of employment? Donovan, I will get the last name because I assume we have it.
Nicely.
What's Donovan Blas state of employment and or knowledge within Endron?
Oh, he has been, from what I've heard, has been remarkably good handling some of the business deals that we've been attempting to get through. Managed to get some stuff pushed through years ahead of time rather quickly. I'm surprised at such a, you know, low-level, middle manager would be able to pull off something like that. But they pushed through most of his contracts, so what I do know is that he's secured us the land around this area and made it very easy for us to move in.
That's something that he had such initiative and ingenuity to do because he was fully in the know? Or is that just I like the idea of money, I want more of it? The standard sort of reasons.
I think he may have initially have just been in it for the money, but eventually he started to do it fervently. So I assume he fell in line with the cause.
What you're saying is he's not really in the know about anything actually going on under the hood.
No, no, he's just been a very, very convenient and helpful individual. Who may or may not also be the fall man.
I was about to say that sounds like that's not going to last long.
That sounds about right, honestly.
Yep, that tracks. Dope.
Clover in this whole exchange has basically placed her bowl down somewhere and has snuck across the room to where she is now standing behind said doctor. He's completely locked up, right? Like he can't move.
Yep, he's paralyzed.
And she leans down, and the very sweet, vacant expression she typically wears is not there. And she goes, "Doctor, are you as human as I think you are?"
I'm not quite sure I understand the question. I am...
Physiologically. Do you process things quite as a human does?
Yes.
Do you know how much fentanyl it takes truly to trigger an overdose?
Connor over Tonophone answers that question.
Yeah, his eyes just go wide.
And Clover, y'all have seen her pull some shit out of this bag. Clover's hands come out around the side of his shoulders, and there's a syringe in one side, one hand.
Over, honey.
She goes, I think if you'd like this to be over much quicker than a fentanyl overdose, we are going to have to be a lot more straightforward about things we are asking. And the tip of the needle is right over his jugular. And there's just a teeny poke. So he knows. it's there.
Clover.
You thought I was the bad cop.
See, here's the thing is you have to have the wild card.
Connor again over Tonophone. I have 3 doses of Narcan in my bag.
I have 5.
We can't get any answers out of a dead man over telephone.
Yeah,
Oh no, the
I think
point
I
is
know
we
that.
can
Fine.
save him from an
We're
overdose.
Yeah, I was
yes,
about to say,
we're
we have the
playing
tools to
him.
save him from an overdose.
We have 5 chances to get him back up and down. Or technically 8. We have
Yeah.
8 chances to get him up and down.
Yeah, but he's gonna figure out our game after the first 5.
Yeah, he's not going to enjoy it though.
Yeah, it doesn't make it not happen. Clover goes,
Okay, I can feel that. No, fentanyl overdose is not currently on the list of things I'd like to experience within my life. What can I answer for you?
We've been asking the questions, dumbass. Answer the questions.
Here's a good one. We have his I have his phone, right?
Mhm.
I need you to smile for me first. Let's see if this works as I hold it up to his face.
He gives a smile and then realizes what
unlock?
you're doing as the phone unlocks.
Dope. Thanks. And I am going through his emails, everything. I am checking for names because I don't buy that all of his contacts with Pentex are faceless.
I would turn off his phone security so you can unlock it later without him needing to do that again first.
Oh, I'm keeping his face. It's fine. I do not explain that further. However, y'all know I can just take someone's appearance.
I feel
so
like
there is-
Clover doesn't know that.
No.
Or doesn't remember it and goes, well, I mean, if it's just the face, it has to be over a skull for it to be the right shape.
It's fine. We've got. I can adapt, and that way, if he's trying to see if I'm serious or not, there is not a single whit of a joke in there.
So as you open the first email from Pentex, simply titled RE : test subject 3. And you're given a name of like 10 different scientists, all of which are different, accredited with different things. This is a lot of data on Devin.
Okay.
And one of the things you're seeing that they're testing are they're attempting to make tasers that will work through a shifted Krynos. And as you scroll to the bottom, the name, 3 names are down at the bottom. There is Dmitry Karlov,
Mm-hmm.
and there is Donovan Nisley.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And Brain, I had this. Erin, Erin Carver.
Carver.
That one has MD, PhD along with it.
So to be clear, this information in this email, which was definitely sent to Carrie's boy toy, is
But
not.
that it's not a boy toy. It's a means to an end.
Yeah,
It
this
did not-
has nothing to do with land grants or discussions of drilling sites. This is 100%
This is
just
100% worm, like pen text shit.
yes, yeah.
Okay. Dope. Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
I just have one more question for you.
Oh, him.
Yeah. No. You, the dipshit in the table with the needle in your almost in your neck.
No, that was Doc who
Oh,
was
okay.
like,
Okay.
okay.
Yep.
Uh,
I just have one more question for you.
well,
You have Nuisha
you caught me
DNA.
just before
Who
I was
is
on my
it?
way out. What was that?
You have Nuisha DNA. Who is it?
Oh, some random we picked up out of
That's not
Arizona.
good enough. Give me every bit of information you have on. Physical
Okay.
characteristics, any name, anything like that. Tell me now if you want to keep your dick. You have 5 seconds to start talking.
Okay. The gentleman that we took simply went by the name Dances Under the Moon.
Is that a name I am remotely familiar with?
Give me intelligence and not etiquette.
Would
Streetwise, potentially.
Streetwise or etiquette. Etiquette would be
I
difficulty
have
7.
Streetwise.
Streetwise is difficulty 6.
Int, and streetwise. And you said diff 6.
Yep.
2 successes.
There are very few Nuisha that are in Sacramento. They're always on the way out. This is one you've personally had drinks with. Cool. This is someone who you've exchanged stories with that he's killed.
Okay. I know for certain there is somebody in this room that that can potentially keep him from dying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shooting right below, like mid calf.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Yeah. I'm basically trying to blow the bottom half of his leg off.
Jesus.
So that would be 5 successes.
Yeah, so add 4 to your damage roll here.
Actually kills him.
Only 2. Oh well.
So as Crystal blows a hole into this man's leg, there is a obviously violent reaction, which is kind of unnerving to see a man who cannot move just experiencing the most horrific pain he's ever felt. And as his screams fill the ears of those in the room, that is where we will take our break for the evening. Remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around a little bit, do whatever you need to do, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
We are back.
A Macaulay story.
Yeah.
No, I have to deal with that on Wednesday and Thursday.
There's a Macaulay
This
in
is
the room.
night.
It is a Macaulay story.
No, it's not his story. It's our story. When we get a Macaulay in the menagerie, then we can call it a Macaulay story.
Fine.
So
We just need,
So
we
as
just need
we-
to have,
as we
have
left
a couple
off-
characters die.
Yeah. It's
I'm
okay,
going to
I can
keep
take care of
my
that
little
this
fun
session.
fact to
So-
myself.
As we return to the scene,
The sounds of the bitchmobile driving off echo in the distance.
Over totem phone. Where the fuck is she? What the fuck are you going?
Have to deal with some shit.
Yeah,
Handle
just
the dock.
Just shoot
Be
a man
more
in the leg
specific.
and fucking drive off. All right.
No. Deal with the
Why
dock.
not? No,
Blow me.
excuse you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that not clear enough?
No, I can't understand the fucking word you said.
I said blow me.
No, thank you.
I don't have any blow in my bag, unfortunately.
I do.
yeah, so Dr. Bright is being attended to by Doc. And
Clover is
Blo-
gonna
Blossoming
take the
Dancer,
syringe and do just a little bit of vent in there just to try to mitigate.
like,
the whole
oh,
syringe she had.
he's an actual danger. Here, have some
Oh,
pain.
here, for its
Kill it.
intended purpose.
Uh-oh.
Ow. Oh, ouch. So I just scratched at my leg to scratch, like, because I had an itch and accidentally ripped off a scab.
Scab.
Oh,
Yep.
fine.
Been
It's
there.
all was
Oh.
worse.
So,
But
Tiny
Blossoming
microcosm of what the
Dancer,
doctor's going through.
yes. Blossoming Dancer has used Mother's Touch. There is the smell of wildfire that just sort of pervades the room.
remind me
And-
what the
Mother's Touch is an ability used to heal wounds.
okay.
I can't recall. Does it rebuild what's lost or just heal up what's there?
It will. I
I-
believe it'll only fix what was lost if it was very recent.
Yes.
Like it can only heal battle scars if they were very recent. So presumably any like lost limbs and such had to be very recent as well.
He has a chance to save the leg. But I'm not worried
Uh,
if he doesn't.
But did you leave his phone on the table when you stormed off? So that Callisto can have access to the information you just gained?
I think
Did you share with the
but
class
she
or
would
did you just leave?
She would have forwarded. She would have actually sent a text with two of the three names.
Which two names?
Because again, trust the one that is not the boo that I am going to go visit.
Okay.
Which means Callisto still cannot call him out on his abject falsehood. Because you have not given her the name that confirms that.
I don't think. No, but you have everything else you need.
All right, well.
Which
Sorry.
that's
I know I am not being helpful.
this is a new scene, so I feel like I should re-up the Gaia's truth of Gaia.
Yeah.
Like nothing has happened, Clover returns to her bowl of SpaghettiOs. And
I've
Intelligence, empathy, 8. Still a success, so it works.
over totem phone. I feel like this is going nowhere.
well, I got a little bit extra here. Callisto sort of looks over her phone. All right, well, now that you've gotten your up and down for the evening, how about you inform us, since you clearly do actually know who your higher ups are. Who the hell? What was the third name?
Aaron Carver.
Aaron Carr. Who the hell is Aaron Carver?
There's a look that crosses his face. Go ahead and give me anybody who wants to. It's an empathy difficulty 6.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it probably wouldn't come through until about now, like after the rest of it. There will be a text that says, also Donovan's on the list. Don't tell Carrie. No
Forget that
reason.
text.
And then the immediate response after that will be, no reason. Next text after that, I'm certainly not going to deal with the situation. Next text after that, seriously, don't tell Carrie. Next text after that, she's going to be so mad at me.
Not for the reasons you think.
No, for the reasons that she thinks. So it's just like this wheat of the text.
And the last text is just random emojis as Crystal drives off the road and flips the bitchmobile 8 times because she wasn't paying attention to the driving. Anyway,
she can text to speech.
Oh, absolutely, she can.
Like, please tell me to pick up their phone. Please tell me.
Crystal rolls the bitchmobile and then chooses Macaulay, right? As the next character?
Yeah.
No, I have said if I die, my next character is in Naga.
Ooh, okay.
Because snake people. I feel like I may have just sealed Crystal's fate based on that reaction.
No, because if that was the case, we'd have a Camazotz in a silver. Not a
I was
silver
about to say,
fang,
no, not Silver
White
Fang,
Howler.
Ananasi.
A White Howler. Oh, yeah,
Not
the
a White
Ananasi.
Howler, Ananasi.
It would have been White Howler if the werewolves weren't so closely involved with this game.
Yeah,
but
if it wasn't such a werewolf heavy game, it would have been the White Howler.
That would be really funny though if like we all three of us died, and then the party went from this generally, good-natured, good, happy for the most part group to spider person, snake person, and bat person.
And 2 crows.
And 2 crows.
One of which is apparently worm tainted.
Anyway.
Yeah, so,
related.
3 on the empathy.
Uh,
Ari and I are the only ones who got anything.
Yep. So the 2 of you, Clover, Connor, you're not really getting much from his face.
I'm not looking at his face. I'm on his lap facing away.
That makes sense. He's paralyzed, so you don't get any of like the usual body tells that you might get were he not. Clover, this man is in pain. That's what you can tell.
And this bowl of SpaghettiOs is far more interesting right now.
Yes. Carrie and Callisto, that man showed genuine fear when that name was mentioned.
Oh, not only do you
He's-
know who your higher ups are, but you know why you should be afraid of them. Why is that?
Please share with the class.
And you are sure that this... I'm dying no matter what I say, correct?
I mean, it's not completely necessary, but if you want us to kill you rather than let him get to you, we will.
No. I'm merely asking. Because if there is a chance I can walk away, I will answer this in one condition, that she never finds out that I even
she's not
spoke her
gonna.
name.
No.
There is a chance you walk away. It depends on how helpful you are. At the moment, well, Mother Webb, how are we doing on that?
Mother Webb, she says nothing. She takes a long sip from her cup of tea and sets down the saucer and just looks at you.
Callisto looks back after that expression about that well.
She just does the full Kermit eating.
Aaron Carver is an individual of extreme intelligence and very little in the morals department.
In the what?
In
The morals department.
I mean, you just described most of Pentex, but go ahead.
This is why I'm saying the
Uh,
humanities.
Yes. However, most Pentex individuals don't instantly go to children for test subjects.
All right, so especially crazy. Continue.
We were able to dissuade her from that, especially since most of you shifters don't experience any form of change until after puberty. It's a very interesting genetic coding. Anyway, Aaron pushed for a lot of the soldiers to start being created. I think you've dealt with one of them.
Yeah, it didn't last long. Wasn't that well made?
It doesn't match up in anything to the original, unfortunately. However, when she saw the success of the original four, they were sent to Endron, and I was to use them as building blocks and go further, which is where my testing came in and where our hunting began.
Outside those original four, how many others did you get? How many did
None have been fully created yet. We have a few that are still in the process of being for the genetic integration to happen.
Oh, for fuck's sake. How many are in the process of genetic integration?
10?
10. And are we talking Luisha, Corax, little column A, little column B, little werewolf?
There were a few of the coyotes, one crocodile, one corvid, an attempt at a grizzly bear, but it did not last.
Yeah. That ain't gonna work.
And the DNA from the unidentified member of the Felis genus caused the test subject to literally bleed silver until they died.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try and raw science your way through things that are more spiritual in nature.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, it is a process in its infancy, and much like infants of the human world, you have to fumble your way to success.
You're not going to get that chance.
Oh,
If you-
I've gathered as much.
If you do live, understand that you're not picking this line of work back up.
I think I would very much like to return to Cornwall and possibly pick up painting.
But
Die in
ultimately,
obscurity and quietness.
it's a good plan.
Ultimately, whether or not you stay alive is a determination that'll be made by our most stern member, she says, indicating to Mother Webb.
Oh. Player question. Because I know Katie knows about the email, but does Carrie know about the email?
No.
So somebody else got to bring that up. Okay.
Second, I've got confirmation that you were lying to us earlier, which does not put points in your favor. So tell me the real story about Donovan.
Yes, please do.
He is a fantastic actor and has been doing well in our public relations and has really managed to smooth a lot of the higher ups within Congress and get a lot of palms greased and
And has been
Super.
doing so with full knowledge of what it is that you're aiming to do here.
as far as I am aware, yes.
He Dimitri's right hand man. Is he the charismatic one?
To a point.
I'll put charismatic in quotation marks, by the
You
way.
got the company face, the talker, and the psychotic one.
Mm-hmm. Triumvirate.
Psychotic is putting it lightly.
Hmm?
Psychotic might
Psychotic
be
is putting
putting
it
it a little lightly.
Ain't that the most lovely corporate power structure?
I knew that guy was a dipshit.
So, answer me this. You know its name. You know it's called Hellbreaker. Why the fuck would you want to line up with letting something named by people who are known for giving things names that are, descriptive of their actions and qualities? Something named Hellbreaker. Why would you want to let it loose?
Why wouldn't I?
Because you and everyone else in probably this swing of the country might end up broken.
If you're lucky. Dead if you're not.
I mean, broken was my term for, his name is Hellbreaker. Let's find out what happens when he breaks hell.
Sorry, Clover's gonna have to say it. Well, I hate to see what happens if he breaks wind.
What?
I hate to see what happens when he breaks wind.
You're answering the question with a question again.
Answer
I-
clearly.
Do apologize. That is an unfortunate
you
habit of
don't.
mine.
No, you don't. You know exactly what you're doing. Now tell us the straight answer.
Your GM has Swiss cheese brain, so remind me of the question.
Why would you let Hellbreaker out?
Yes. The simplest answer is for pure curiosity. And honestly, to see if you people are telling the truth.
Are the secretive spiritual organizations who want to try and stop you from destroying the world telling the truth about the thing that they've got protected going to destroy the world? That's a hell of a roulette to want to play.
Goddamn scientist. Jesus.
Not,
Can't do anything
not
without
to
him.
advocate for the literal devil, but I understand that curiosity.
I mean, I get the curiosity. I
Okay.
don't get the acting on it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
When the people who, by all functional definitions, seem to be more about preserving the environment and things from devastation than they are even about preserving human lives, are putting everything in the way to say this thing stays here because if it gets out, it's devastating. What part of you makes you think, nah, it'll be fine if I let it out?
Well, I think the answer there is knowing. I can answer that.
Yes, but you'll be dead soon after. So how long are you actually going to know? You know for a split second, oh, they were telling the truth, and then you die.
curiosity
is
killed the cat.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Thankfully, I'm
but
a reader.
satisfaction brought it back. I figured
Not in
you
this
of all
case, it
would know
won't.
this.
No.
Satisfaction is not going to bring back a pile of ash.
Dr. Bright doesn't hear that.
Oh, right.
That was in Totem Phone.
Totem's phone.
I'm
okay.
a cat. I can't actually speak.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing we've also established, though, is if this thing is bad for humanity, just as much as it is bad for us, humans don't typically worry about that.
I mean, yeah, humankind has been a historical roller coaster of trying to kill themselves.
If they're not killing each other, they're finding some way to make everything else do it.
I have seen the error of my ways. Is there anything I can do to assist you in stopping this?
I look over it. I look down at the cat. How much of that was a lie? Over Totem Phone.
Oh, every fucking word.
Connor stands up, turns around, and like lightly claws at his cheek, just enough to sting.
Oh, cat claws sting a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if they do
say having
aggravated
put
damage.
hand sanitize. Actually, you know what now? Clover, with the cat claw marks on his cheek, Clover pulls out a Bath and Body Works hand sanitizer and just rubs it down the claw marks.
Ugh.
It smells like
Oh,
which
okay.
scent? What's Clover's scent? We're gonna say it's a warm vanilla sugar. I think it's in your best interest to be very honest with us.
And really, could you be any more cliche? I've seen the error of my ways. Nobody who has ever said that has ever seen the error of their ways.
I was taught when I was in a certain place that I had to be for a little bit, just a bit, how to do a proper apology. And the first thing is you have to admit what the error of your ways was. You can't just say, I've seen the error of my ways. You have to say the error so we can then correct you if it's the wrong error.
That was court mandated therapy, was it not?
Rehab, yeah, no. But anyways, let's talk about and just let's talk about what your error was. Let's do it very concisely and very clearly. You're in a lot of pain, and I can make that pain go away, or we can.
I don't think I would trust you to do so after the incident with the fentanyl needle.
It's fentanyl. It's painkiller.
I
Well,
mean,
we have,
he is a
how
doctor.
about we have two options? I love options. Like he's on the table, right? So she's like,
He's sitting in a chair.
In a chair.
He's sitting in a chair.
yeah. She's just like leaning forward, and she goes, "We have two options. Okay, we love options. I know if you are dealing with a toddler, you should give the illusion of choice. So, how about we have fentanyl, and I maybe administer it properly? It's okay. I've got Narcan in my purse if I overshoot it a little bit, or we can play gummy roulette and figure out how you handle having your third eye blasted open, or the worst case of munchies you've ever had in your life, and then I'm going to eat an entire bag of Doritos in front of you. Beatrice?
Oh shit, that's diabolical.
I'm not a very fighty person. I'm not good in a fight. I do have a hunting knife. Thank you, Callisto.
She's much better at flight.
But I have drugs, and I know how to use them. And you are in a position where you can't fight me on whether or not these are administered.
Connor over Totem Phone. Ask him how much he weighs.
Just by curiosity, how much do you weigh? And do you know your body fat, Mouse?
About 105 kilos.
I'm going to need you to do that in freedom points.
Nah, Connor gives you a dosage of
You say freedom
a maximum
points.
dose of fentanyl.
Yes, she said freedom points.
Clover digs around in her bag and pulls out 4 separate vials. They have different colored caps, but no labels. We talked about roulette.
Connor cringes at unlabeled drugs.
the difference between a pharmacist and a drug addict.
Just the cat's tail gets fucking gigantic.
Just bottle brush tail.
Just tail pops up.
Yeah, it's just
Anybody in the room, I want wits and empathy difficulty 6.
2.
Also, too.
Hold on.
3 successes.
All of you have noticed. All of your elders are sort of standing, watching without saying anything.
They're watching this group of lunatics try to interrogate somebody.
I mean, to be fair, it's an interrogation that none of them have had to do.
Well, it's a little that, and it's a little we've not seen this menagerie actually work together
Yeah.
in front of us.
Mhm.
Yep. Hold on.
This
let it
is
cook.
interesting. Yeah, hold on, let him cook.
And
Like
they-
Doc's
they-
almost stepped in like 4 times, and Dancing Cackle's been like, wait, it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, as they very quickly sussed out, Callisto is the one who has to play the sensible person all the time.
Uh-huh.
God bless Callisto and Carrie for attempting to keep us on task. And then there's the rest of them.
Yep. And then
I think
meanwhile,
Carrie is like
we-
a little bit more like, okay, I'll get you on track, but also if that one has a really good idea, I'm going with that one.
You guys have one brain cell, and it's vacillating between you as fast as possible.
And
Clover's
then meanwhile,
doing,
we
like,
cut to the
the
ahead.
cups with her vials, and just switching them around.
Over telephone, do you know which one's which?
I do. I have them color coordinated.
And
Well,
then
I can give you
meanwhile, we
dosages.
cut to the freeway where Crystal is leaning back, steering with the heel of a boot, as "Don't Stop Believin'" is now what's playing, and she's sitting there in the process of loading her gun as the cigarette almost falls out of the mouth into her lap, but doesn't quite.
So
Beautiful.
Cut back.
Yep.
the vials, when Clover stops her little switcheroo, goes red, blue, yellow, green.
Okay.
And she goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, let's hold on. Let's see if he decides to actually answer questions properly before we decide to play the roulette.
Clover pulls out what looks like a anime like Sanrio pencil case, pulls it out and just lays 4 syringes on the table next to him.
I had gotten way into over my head before I knew what I was doing.
Well, you didn't have me around, so you stood a better chance.
Keep talking.
I was originally brought in for simple genetic testing and genetic modification science. I had no idea all of this was connected to it.
Callisto will look over at the cat.
Is it truthful?
Everything he said is checking out.
All right. Connor just sits peacefully on his lap.
When they
So-
started bringing in human test subjects, or when they brought in Devin, at least, I will admit I was also privy to the corruption of power.
And so
But
what
I
did
was also tasked with testing them to their limits.
So
Poor
understand.
Coyote ran for 4 days before it died.
And do you feel any amount of remorse for that?
Greatly, it was a loss of life I wish I had not had it endured.
Callisto looks
Yes.
at the cat.
Half truth.
Connor gets up, places a paw on his other cheek.
Hmm.
Try again.
I regret the extremes I had to go to, but I do what I must in the name of science.
In the name of science.
Callisto looks at the cat.
Pulls the paw away. So, is it safe to say he's more sad about losing a test subject than actually remorseful about a living thing dying?
About a life being lost.
It's more he's upset that he would wish the circumstances of the experiments were different, is what you're gathering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's what he's essentially saying is he's testing these things to the limit until they stop moving, and that's the data they need.
And how many of
And he doesn't like doing that, but he will do it because it's science to do.
Because it's what he was brought in, and before he knew it, he was
into
deep.
Yeah.
So all of these test subjects, like the coyote, all of them are no longer among the living.
There are a few that have just been incubated. It will take a while before they, at least 3 to 6 months before they reach full germination into something that could be perceived as a living being.
I'm not talking about the
Wait, hold up a second. Are you talking clones? That you just attempted to create? Or did you literally steal unborn children?
Heavens no.
I
They were
had someone do that
cloned.
for me.
To which one?
They were all cloned.
From
Oh, the only ones that we've made in lab have been cockroach. The rhinoceros is complete until failure. The gorilla. And the crocodile.
question for the storyteller. Has
Talking about-
Callisto heard of any of these mockery breeds?
That would be give me intelligence and skill enigmas, difficulty 8.
All right.
I'm just going to say Connor has not heard of them. He is not super familiar with the changing breeds.
Yeah, Callisto's been
Outside
around the
of-
block for a bit,
yeah.
so. One success.
One success. You've heard tales of you don't know terrible details, but names, and you can't tell which one's which, but the names Yeren and Samsa are coming to mind.
Making monstrosities in the name of science.
I'm talking about the originals because you said the coyote died. What about the rest of them?
Yes, the Corvid didn't make it. That was not that was simply a bird.
Okay.
It's a living thing.
Yes, absolutely.
But it wasn't a shapeshifter, is what you're getting at.
It wasn't a sapient being.
You'd be surprised what the birds know.
Hmm.
No, I wouldn't. They're not real. So
They're all robots.
No.
Of
the
all-
birds
established-
were
I
birds were
think it's
invented in the
cybernetics.
1980s to perpetuate a surveillance state. Stay tuned for my TED talk.
The stupidest of conspiracy theories.
Anyway,
Yes, because we all know humans cannot win a war against the birds. There's been 3 attempts.
I was
The
about to
Great
say
Emu
the Emu
Wars
Wars
showed
did
it.
Australia
not
lost
go
a
well.
war.
Australia lost 2 wars,
Two, yes,
Two.
two of them. Two of them.
anyway,
and China failed against the sparrows or swallows, whichever it was.
The rhinoceros didn't make it either. Now that I'm remembering, though, I do believe the reason one of the 2 black spiral dances, as you call them, are no longer with us was by your hands.
Yeah, that would be accurate.
don't try to turn this around on us.
I mean, he's not.
I
That's
just-
just a statement of fact.
It is
I
a
know.
statement of fact.
We killed one of them.
Yeah, but we're not the ones being interrogated here.
You had samples from a wide variety. Where did you
We
get
did.
them? Aside, we've heard about the corvid, we've heard about the raven, and we've heard about the coyote. What about the rest?
Well, the cockroach, gorilla, and gorilla, rhinoceros, and yeah, those were all obtained via local zoological establishments.
That I'm not surprised. What about the ones that aren't abominations you tried to make from the ground up?
Well, I told you of the Nuisha that we hunted down.
Mm-hmm.
That was
You had bear DNA.
yes, we did.
Where from?
A
Bear
local
population
furry.
around here is real sparse. Real sparse.
Yes. Unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on the circumstances, conservationists, when informed that you can help further the longevity of a species by access to the DNA of that species, often tend to give those samples up very willingly.
Okay, so separately acquired sample from conservationists.
What about the
And-
cat?
And the cat?
That one was tricky. That one, that sample, I don't know where it arrived from. That was a vial that arrived with all the other genetic materials.
Callisto looks at the cat.
Is it truthful?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, he is not telling the truth, or he's not lying. Brain, he is
Remain-
telling the truth.
Remains seated on his lap.
How did you know how to find them?
The Nuisha.
Any of the shifters?
We only found the one, but
Roger.
The rest were sampled and sourced. Why did you know to go after those animals?
those were the ones that were on the list I was given.
Who made the list?
I'm assuming either
Aaron.
Aaron, yeah, I was say either Aaron or
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Dr. Carver.
Is Aaron Carver in the state?
She's in the city.
Good to know. Does she happen to work at the Endron building, or is she off-site?
She's off-site, though. If I'm given permission to walk again, I would gladly take you to her.
Is that truthful?
It's a half-truth.
Stands up, paw on cheek.
Clarify that one.
I know for a fact that Aaron Carver's estate is very heavily guarded. So it's dangerous for me to go as well as it is for you to go. Quite frankly, I'd rather not risk that danger.
But you know where it is. So that's a leg up. Since we know that you would rather save that as a bargaining chip for keeping your skin in one piece, we'll save asking you about that location for the end. So then from there, heavily defended. By what and how far?
How far? How do you mean? Oh,
How much of the how much of the compound is being covered and by what?
She has security guards as well as guard and attack dogs. Beyond that, I don't entirely know, but as far as I'm aware, if anybody gets onto grounds, it's more of a shoot first, ask questions later sort of situation.
Has anyone? They have had silver bullets.
Yeah.
Correction. Yeah. And do you know if they are? Actually, no. That better question. Before I ask that question, where'd you get silver bullets?
Oh. Those were given out to all Andron employees that carry a gun.
I look at Connor.
He's telling the truth.
Since
And our camera shifts. Crystal,
Stop.
you pull up outside of. Well, where would you park if you are attempting to do it with you doing this?
Down the street, because I'm going into the Ember and walking into his home, and then going to pop out in the bathroom, and yeah. As far as I'm aware, sure, he may be Pentex. 99.9. My assumption is 99.9% of Pentex members are still just human.
Yep. The truth is that the real monsters are the humans.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I
And-
park down the street. I park probably about 3 blocks away because I don't want my car to be, I don't want the bitchmobile to be seen
the area.
just in case there's a real investigation. I doubt there will be, but yeah, park about 3 blocks away. Use the rear view mirror to hop into the Umbra. I know exactly where he lives.
Okay.
And I am just humming along with these boots are gonna walk all over you. Not actually playing. I don't have my like iPod attached to myself or iPhone attached to my dedicated or anything. But as I make my way down the street to walk through the walls, go to his bathroom, and then hop out. I am keeping an eye out just in case for like
Yeah.
spiritual fuckery.
This guy's got a shit ton of weaver spiders all over his place.
Yeah, it's not surprising. He's probably got a lot of tech shit.
But yeah, are you holding, like, are you just stepping out and doing nothing? Or are you stepping out and like pointing a gun? What is happening?
I'm popping out into the bathroom, and then waiting there, stopping there for a moment to get a sense of where he might be and if he's alone and shit. Listening through the door.
Roll me perception alertness, difficulty
Yep.
7.
Uh, two successes.
Press your ear against the doorway, and you don't hear anything for a few seconds, and then there's a sound of movement. You're in. Would you've gone for a first floor or a second floor bathroom?
Oh, yeah, it's a two. Yeah, it's a two-story.
Or no,
place.
it's an apartment. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Brain. Yeah. So yes, eventually you hear footsteps approaching.
I am shifting. I will spin the or make the roll. I am shifting to I always forget what the Glabro form is, but I'm shifting it into Wisha Glabro
Okay.
because I would go Manabocho, but I don't know if I can fit through the door. Stamina, Primal Urge. Diff 7. I am
Sitsu.
trying again. You know what? I haven't
Diff
spent
6.
willpower in a long time. I'm spending willpower. Oh wait, is it just Diff 6? Should be, because I'm shifting to this.
You're shifting. No,
Oh.
it's about the form you're shifting from.
Is it?
Yes, it's always the form you're shifting from.
Interesting. Then I got one success. Then I'm in
Okay.
bigger
It's-
human form.
Sitsu, apparently, according to the spelling.
Sitsu. Okay. And I'm waiting for him to get close to the door.
Yeah.
I'm staying quiet. As soon as I hear him outside the door, I am kicking the door off the hinges, probably.
So as the door flies open and across the room, and you step out in front of this, quite frankly, cowering man.
Hi, Donnie.
That is where we will end for the week. Say goodnight, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.